This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Sunday morning. I'm Tim Gordon. This morning on Sunrise, remembering the voice of the Trailblazers, Bill Schonely. We'll talk about his impact on the franchise and Blazers fans. Plus, the search for 4 missing show dogs. The dogs were inside a van when a suspected thief jumped in and drove off. The plea for the dogs to be brought home. But first, let's check in with Chris McGinnis for a quick look at our Sunday forecast. Chris.
Good morning, Tim. Thought I'd take you up to the mountain real quick. It is still snowing hard up at Timberline. They picked up about a half a foot of fresh powder late yesterday afternoon and early this morning. Still snowing up there. It is partly cloudy right now at PDX, 39 degrees, calm wind, and this morning, fog not nearly as widespread as it was yesterday, but we do have some chilly pockets out there. We go from 39 in Portland at the airport on the east side of town. We hop over to the west side out into Washington County. Hillsborough right now waking up to 29. It's 30 in King City and Sherwood. Big picture here across western Oregon. Salem hanging out just above the freezing mark. As we hop over the Cascades, Burns right now chilly 21 in Baker City. All right, so check out the radar. There's 1 or 2 little blips on the map here, maybe a isolated sprinkle out there this morning, primarily focused into the Cascades with snow showers up there. Those will continue for a few more hours. I've got Portland mostly cloudy today. Temperature's not going very far, in the mid 40s this afternoon. Tim?
All right. Thanks a lot, Chris. We start this half hour with a horrific scene outside of Los Angeles. At least 10 people are dead, and the gunman is on the loose after a mass shooting in the city of Monterey Park. This happened just before 10:30 last night. 10 more people suffered injuries in that shooting. Investigators don't have a lot of concrete details to give us so far. They say they're working to identify the victims and trying to figure out who did this and why. The city of Monterey Park is hosting its annual Lunar New Year Festival, which draws 100,000 people each day. Today's festival events have been canceled. Well, here at home, Rip City is saying goodbye to an icon. Legendary Trailblazer broadcaster Bill Schonely died early Saturday morning at the age of 93. You know, it's nearly impossible to comprehend what he has meant to Blazers fans and Portland as a whole. Alma McCarty has reaction to the iconic figure's death.
From 15,
From 1970.
The Portland Trailblazers have won the World Championship.
To the present day, his was a voice known well.
Good evening, basketball fans, wherever you may be.
Bill Schonely, the mayor of Rip City, the Shawns, a legend.
I think Bill was the most popular figure ever in the history of the Trailblazers. That's over 50 years. He was there from year one, and he was very proud of that. He was proud of being such a popular voice, not just voice, but figure throughout all that time.
On Saturday, the 93-year-old passed away, as first reported by his friend and biographer, Kerry Eggers.
People remembered him from the days of their childhood. I had so many people come up to me and tell me how many warm memories they had of listening to him on the broadcast.
Bill Schonely was born on June 1st, 1929 in Norristown, Pennsylvania. His career in broadcasting began during his time in the Marine Corps while serving in the South Pacific. KGW spoke with Schonely back in 2017.
I started Armed Forces Radio in late 1949, and I've been in the business ever since. And that really whetted my appetite.
Then, in 1970, he got a call from Harry Glickman about his brand new NBA team in Portland. He joined the organization, one of the very first hires. For nearly 30 years, he was a play-by-play announcer, calling over 2,500 games, including the team's championship run in 1977.
There's a bedlam out there. I could hardly see, and I'm darting around and with a headset on, and it was wonderful.
He went on to serve as the team's ambassador, starting in 2003. Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups and star player Damian Lillard expressed just how much Schonely meant to the team and to the sport.
It's revered around the league, so it's a sad day. You know, a very sad day for us and this organization, this fan base.
Anybody that knows him knows that he immediately told me that he was the person that came up with Rip City That was one thing that he owned, and something that he was extremely proud of. A lot of the names that are hanging up, you look at the history of this organization and all the great players that have come through. He wanted that to be known, and he spoke on it very often, and those were the times, where he was probably most into it.
Bill Schonely retired in 2022.
They had a retirement night for him, the last game of the season in April, and while he knew he would get a nice reception, I think he was overwhelmed by the love and respect that he got that night, and I think he would feel obliged to say that he enjoyed the relationship just as much as those fans did over the years.
I have done many events such as this, but always for somebody else. And to have it happen for me, thank you very much.
Now, what a guy. Well, the Blazers play tonight at Moda Center, hosting the rival LA Lakers. We'll be there for you, and we'll have much more about the life of Bill Schonely tonight on Sports Sunday at 11:35. Also, we'll continue to honor Schonely's legacy. If you'd like to see more coverage of him, head to KGW.com, the YouTube page as well. We have a playlist up now called Remembering Bill Schonely. Well, a Washington dog breeder is frantic after her van and her 4 dogs were taken from outside the Oxford Suites on Jansen Beach. They were in town for the Rose City Classic Dog Show. Art Edwards has that story.
I couldn't have human children, so this is my family. And it's like having a child ripped from your grasps, only this time it's 4. 4 children.
Vandra Huber and 2 friends came to Portland for the Rose City Classic Dog Show at the Expo Center. With them, 3 Scottish Terriers and a Cairn Terrier. They're staying at the Oxford Suites, not far from the Expo Center. This morning, one of them took the dogs outside, then put them in their crates and back into the van. He drove up to the front of the hotel and then went inside to get the other 2 people. He left the van right outside the front entrance. It was running with the keys inside.
Someone had to have been watching and dashed over and literally drove the van away.
When they discovered what happened, they were in shock.
Well, Ed was screaming and saying, "Oh my God, oh my God." And of course, I run out just with total disbelief because we've never had anything like this ever happen in the 20 years we have visited Portland.
The van is a dark blue 2020 Mercedes Metris cargo van. It has a temporary tag from Washington in the window. The number is E0768146. The license plate frames had a light blue dealer placard in them that says soundford.com in Renton. What Huber wants now is simple.
I just need someone to return the dogs. I don't care if they keep the van, and just don't leave the dogs out in the crates somewhere where it's cold.
Well, Huber has put up a reward of $10,000 for the safe return of all 4 dogs. If you see that van or have any information about those sweet animals, you're asked to call Portland Police. Hope they can get their dogs back for sure. Well, a kayaker is home safe after the U.S. Coast Guard rescued him from the Columbia River on Saturday. His kayak capsized near Puget Island, that's south of Cathlamet, Washington. The Coast Guard sent a rescue swimmer to save that man and lowered a basket to haul him up to a waiting helicopter. The man was evaluated for hypothermia, but he refused to go to the hospital. Well, 2 teenagers, aged 13 and 14, were arrested in Oregon after stealing a car in Washington. Police say the suspects stole the car from the Vancouver Mall. The victim told authorities she was walking toward the mall when these 2 young people forced her to give up her keys. She was not hurt. The Vancouver police found the stolen car and tried to pull the suspects over. They did not stop. Instead, the suspects drove to Clackamas County where the chase ended. The 2 teen suspects are now at a juvenile detention center. Well, still to come on Sunrise, you may have noticed Christmas lights up way past the holidays around the city. Not just at my house, I guess. But there's a reason behind it. We'll find out why Portland city leaders believe the lights will actually make the streets a little bit safer.